What you are going to need to do is download this zipped folder, and you're going to need to extract the files, and you should extract them into your lesson 12 folder. And you can see I've already done that, but you're going to want to select lesson 12 and then go ahead and use the extract command. And once you've done that, then we can open up the files and start modifying them. And all of the graphics are in the media folder. And to start with, all three of the files are the exact same. And what you're going to be doing is modifying the CSS so that you are creating the different layouts. And we are going to start with flexbox. So I have already launched VS Code. And there's my responsive page review folder. And you can see I've got CSS grid, Flexbox, grid view. So I'm going to choose Flexbox. All of the CSS is at the top of the file. And if we follow along in the directions, I am trying to give you little hints as far as what you need to do here. So the article element should be the parent container. So if we look down here, you can see we've got main, we have a header, we have a navigation section, an aside, and then we have an article. And there's 3 sections inside that article. We have another article with 3 sections. And then finally, we have a third article with 3 sections. And at the bottom, we have a footer. So that's kind of how the page is set up. And article is the parent container. So what we want is for the items within article to flex. So this is the code that we want to add to article. And before we do that, I am going to quick open this in the browser so that we can kind of watch it as we change it. So right now the layout is kind of set up for a phone. It's not ideal for a wider a screen like mine, but on a phone, it would actually look pretty good. And we are doing mobile first for our design. Um, but right now, there is no Flexbox. So that is what we have to add. So I'm going to keep that open and we'll be flipping back as we make changes. So we need to adjust the article CSS. And if we kind of scroll through here, you'll notice there is no article CSS. So I'm going to add it. And I can actually do a little copy paste here. And so I am setting display to flex, indicating that this is the parent container. The direction is row. The width of article is going to be 100%. And I do want the elements to wrap if they need to wrap. Then within each article, we have 3 sections. So section is going to be the child. And I need to add flex colon 1 because that is what makes section a flex box item. And then the minimum width I'm going to set to 100% for mobile. Okay, so that just ensures that the minimum is going to be 100%. And you may think, well, you said that it looked pretty good on mobile, but we need to do something different for desktop. Yes, we do. What we're going to do for desktop is we're going to add what's called a media query. And the media query is going to make an adjustment if the width of the screen is 600 pixels or bigger. And the adjustment that we want made is then the width of our sections can be as small as 20% or as big as 50%. Okay, and that's the primary change that we are going to make there. The height is already set to 400. And so we're going to kind of keep all of the other changes. We're just going to be adjusting the widths. So we can go ahead and we can copy that. And I'm going to paste that at the very bottom here. Okay, so this is saying that we're going to look at the screen and the minimum width. And if it's a screen and it's 600 or higher, it's going to implement the change. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And we'll come over here and let's reload. And immediately you can see that I have flexible boxes. Now, if I get down below 600, then I go to my default, which is the minimum width of 100%. If I get above 600, that's when I start getting the 3-column flex box. Now, could I do another media query with a different width? Of course, I could set a bunch of them up, but for this particular assignment, that is all you need to do.